Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio. Hello, good evening, and a warm welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Southside, on the show this evening is a guest on Dream Team Wednesday, and AK, and my big mucker, Big Stevie. How are you, lads?
Evening, Southside. Evening, Stevie. Evening, the techie team, and everybody that's listening.
Evening, troops. Welcome to the big station serving the nation. Yes, indeed, it is Dream Team Wednesday and a special offer.
A bug off.
Oh, by the way, you need to calm down before the show, man. Fox was stressed out there, you could tell, putting his blood pressure up there. AK.
He sure was. He sure was. It's all right, Fox. We'll just wing it.
Oh, he likes organisation, Stevie. You know that? He likes things to be set out and everything to know what's happening.
But I'll wait to take his medication now. He'll be all right. He'll chill out.
Oh, it's funny. Anyway, lads, how are you, AK?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. This weather would burst you right enough, and we're not playing our Europa League final tonight. Apart from that, I'm doing all right.
Oh, aye, that's right. That's on the night, isn't it? Big man, how's yourself?
Oh, I'm delighted, Jess. My wee T-shirt came tonight for the UB, all in blue for Saturday. Yes. Happy days. I'm all
I've been doing and purchased something myself down at the Edmondson House there just last week, biggin, just for it all in blue. So I got that for Saturday myself. Looking forward to Saturday. But obviously, talking about doing near Edmondson's house, Alex, I was doing. Walter Smith's on the statue's going to get unveiled on Saturday at 12 o'clock, I believe.
Great news. Great news. I'm a wee bit sceptical of the timing, so to speak, with being on the cup final there. I don't know the reasoning behind that. Kind of takes away, detracts away from Walter's unveiling, but it's a great gesture by the club and everybody that's involved. It'll be well received with the Rangers support, and hopefully it goes untouched, undamaged for a good many years, because Walter's an icon of the club and rightfully stands outside Ibrox overlooking everything that precedes it.
When you mention the word legend, Stevie, it's fitting you mentioned Walter Smith in the same bracket.
Aye, of course, mate. We can mile bear. Went to the games with his granda. What can we say about Walter? He's everything you wanted for a manager and a Rangers man, isn't he? And he went to hold his tongue, and he went to stand up. He just had everything. Absolute everything. And he knew how to get a tune out of players. His man management was absolutely out of this planet. He knew how to pull a player aside, fling his arm around him, and he knew when to pin a player against a wall. Absolutely everything you want for a manager. What an icon. Beautiful, great gesture.
Aye, I was just listening when you said that, and I was thinking he'd probably get away with a few things a day, Walter, if he was still managing, but until you said he was pinning players up against the wall, as we all know, that's about the one thing you wouldn't get away with, although a few of them should have been hung up this season against the wall. But aye, no, listen, he wasn't a great football player, career-wise, AK. He admitted that himself. But obviously learnt when he went into management through Jim McLean, and then obviously he even got the Scotland gig, you know. But he obviously learnt his trade, and then obviously when Souness was coming, he seen him as the ideal guy to come along with him. So certainly football-wise, listen, Walter probably tactically in Europe for us wasn't very good, but the team weren't very good for a lot of that time as well. At times in Europe, we get beat with teams we shouldn't have get beat with. But in saying that, we were in the Champions League regular, and we did see some really good results. And obviously, later on, when we go back forward to 2008, it was a Europa League final. But in the Champions League, he found it tough at times as well. But in Scotland, he knew how to win. He knew how to mould a team together, build a team, which he'd done on many occasions. And his management style was perfect for that, like you say. I think he just had the right temperament, knew how to deal with players.
Aye, well, as Stevie says right away, first and foremost, he was a bear. So he knew the standards of the club. He knew the what to hit, and he knew how the club operated. You touched on it. Jim McLean was quite an influential figure in his coaching career. He gave him I think he gave him the under-18s at Dundee United, or reserves, they were probably called then, and that he liked what he seen then. And then he made him his assistant manager, Dundee United, and they won the league championship. Was it 83, 84, something like that? Alex Ferguson, Andy Roxburgh, they also recognised his abilities and took him into the Scotland youth setup. They learned the ropes there, and went to Mexico with Alex Ferguson in charge of Scotland when Jock Stein passed away. And that's when he kind of probably got to know Souness. And Souness liked what he seen out him taking. He taken him as his understudy right away, and he says it's the best signing he's ever made. And so it came to fruition. His league success as a manager, the trophy success he had as a club, it's unsurpassed. It's the modern day Bill Struth for us guys. Walter, very instrumental in the success that happened, and the success that followed. As you say, he went on to Scotland manager and then come back to Rangers in a second spell, and arguably that could have been his best spell, because the club was very different in a financial footing. He had to do a lot of good deals and get the club back to winning again, and that he did. He left us in a good stead, but unfortunately he wasn't to know that it was going to happen following that. But Walter, he's forever a legend at Glasgow Rangers, and God rest him.
I think, Stevie, the fact that he gave the players a wee bit of freedom at times, because he knew probably that was the right thing to do. And one or two players, obviously, coming back for pre-season, like Andy Gorham once and that, he just looked at him and says transfer list, he wasn't going to have it, so he didn't tolerate it. But I think the players all respected him, and I think that's part and parcel for a lot of team spirit. I think a lot of players have got to like the manager. They all like the manager when they're getting picked, but I think if you respect the manager and the manager shows you a lot of respect back at times, then I think it goes a long way for getting an extra maybe 5 and 10% out of a player. Maybe not so much these days as it used to be. Because we know football mentality and players have changed, Stevie.
Oh, 100%. But I get back to what I said in the opening about talking about him. His man management was unmatched, mate. Guys like Gascoigne, he knew he was a fox, he was up to this and up to that. He knew when to fling an arm around Gaza and when to keep him into bother. And as you said, whether he got them into trouble or whether he told them he loved them or whatever, they were playing well or whatever the situation would be, they all respected him, even when he was getting them into bother, for the simple reason he was just that kind of guy. They knew he was right when he was getting them into bother, and they respected him for it. His man management skills were brilliant. He just knew how to talk to them. He knew how to gel the players together, and even the players, they respected him that much. How many times interviews you heard Super Ali saying, "Oh, I knew when he shut my mouth when Walter was ready to explode, and I knew when to open it." He said, and Gaza and him arguing in the park, mind at Parkhead, he says Gaza just kept going yuck at him, and he says, "I knew it was coming, I just sat and said nothing." The respect that Walter Smith's got for players is... Have you ever heard a player coming on and saying they weren't happy with Walter Smith or bad-mouthing Walter Smith? There's none of them, mate, because they all respected him. He was a real decent guy, first and foremost, a family man, decent guy. And when you get your collar felt or your knuckles rattled, you were getting it done for something. It's because Walter's like you away with A and B, and then, enough's enough, pull aside and the heavy finger goes down. This is what I expect out of you. And his man management skills pulled him through. The amount of teams he gelled together and players, all different players. I mean, for Brian Laudrup, a total pro, Richard Goff, total pro, guys like that, and then you had guys like Gaza, Gorham, McCoy, Snow, just all different kind of players, you know, and he knew how to talk to them all, gel them all, and every one of them had him in the highest of respects. And you probably find out Southside and EK that there'll be ex-players and players, maybe no players, obviously, with the game this Saturday, but you'll find out a lot of ex-players will be there for him for the opening of that, you know.
Aye, but think so. I don't know if the team bus is leaving for Ibrox on Saturday or no either. So it might be coinciding with that. Stevie, I don't know. Unless
can I just say,
Mm-hmm.
AK was saying at the start he didn't know the thinking and why they maybe have held it that day. Well, maybe that's the thinking. Go and win this cup for Walter. Go and win it. No, we're all there. The reefs will be getting laid. What he's done for Rangers it's written in folklore in it. So it might be a case of, right, go and date for that guy there. Come on, get everything, you know. So that might be.
That's a fair comment, Stevie. Aye, if that doesn't inspire the team, then what will?
Well, exactly.
Aye, plans might have to be changed slightly, I know. I plan to be in the pub for 11 o'clock, but I might have to do a detour first and get in and see that 12 o'clock, Stevie. I don't know if you're probably, I take it you're bringing down yourself.
Aye. Oh, I'll be there. A bit of respect for Walter. I mean, we can all have a bevy after we beat them. So that's how I'm thinking. So, but listen, that's my thinking on it. Rangers have thought about it. They'll say, let's lift the club. Let's get into this with a bit of grit and determination. Let's do it for Walter. No, everybody. Link arms, dig our heels in, and let's do it for Walter.
See when they passed, would you know, kind of liken it to when you kind of lost your dad or your granddad? That's what I kind of feel. That's how strong an attachment, strong an emotion you had for Walter. Never met Walter, wasn't fortunate enough ever to meet him, but you just kind of knew as if you knew him because you grew up with him, you know. And as what Stevie says there, his discipline, he was big on that. He was. You know, the Andy Gorham instant when he let him go out to Tenerife for a few days and he went, he will transfer list him. He's his best goalkeeper Rangers ever had. Sorry, son, you're not treating me like that. Transfer listed him. Andy Gorham was in tears when he left his office because of what Walter had done to him. Barry Ferguson and Alan McGregor go away with Scotland and make a fool of themselves. Did they transfer list him or did they? He certainly disciplined them in some manner, but the respect that they gave back him because they knew they'd let him down, that just said everything about what they thought of the man, and they took it no bother because they knew they were in the ring and Walter was right. Walter always did things that was right for the club, know about the individuals, and with love and admiration for him for doing that.
Probably, Stevie, it came back to AK, it comes back to standards, respect and dignity. And that's what Walter demanded of probably the players when they were there. Stevie, that's probably what it was.
110%. 110%. Listen, think about I talk about Walter's management skills. I mean, Jim McLean, Alec Ferguson, all these guys, he was learning off of them, Graham Souness, and the respect, just with his knowledge of the game, with playing it as well. All right, he didn't play it. He wasn't the greatest player in the world, but he played with Dundee United and can't mind who else he played with. But anyway,
Dumbarton.
Aye, Dumbarton. Listen, he knew the game. He knows the people. And Rangers, his granddad took him as a young boy. He knew the traditions. He knew what was expected, and he would never let any of the players fall under the what was expected of them tradition-wise. And all right, they used to say the team that drank together won together. But if that was his way of getting the 9 trophies, I wish the next manager would take him up to Savoy, I'll tell you. Walter knew exactly what the band of players that he was managing at a particular time needed. He knew. I mean, look the way we got to the UEFA Cup final in 2008. He just kept the back door shut. He made them fight like lions. I mean, if we were all honest, we should never have maybe got to that UEFA Cup final. Walter was punching well above his weight. All right, we struggled through every round, but we got there. And you've got to give him 10 out of 10. Well, he just knew how to pull a team together. And even when he went back to the Scotland manager, he took the Scotland manager Joe, and Scotland were falling apart at the seams, and he picked him up and got him gone again before he went back to Rangers. He was always going to go back. Rangers is too big a pull for Walter Smith. But he left Scotland a better state than what he got to.
Aye, because he knew the game. He knew how to mould that team. And as you said, when we went to that UEFA Cup final the first time, we had a good result against Sporting Lisbon away. Fiorentina was more or less backs to the wall that night. AK, Davy Weir. If ever you want Davy Weir, he'd have more balls out that box than I've ever seen in my lifetime anywhere. Defenders doing, they just put ball in, and Davy Weir was in every position in that part and he'd the ball out. The only thing I thought Walter should have done, because we all thought at the time, was when Big Kuzan get booked, he should have took him straight off before he gets sent off. But we played a defensive style, AK, and it worked. And Darshville sort of played on the break and that, but Walter just moulded the team into a style, and that's why I'm looking at our manager now, and I'm thinking, look, Walter, I know European football is different. Listen, we've done it in Scotland and all. At times we didn't exactly shut the back door, but he sometimes added extra players in midfield just to make sure that we were going to win the battle. But he adapted the team. He didn't think he had to play the one style all the time, AK. And that's why I think some managers should think, you don't always need to play this style. I know you put it on your players, but you should be adaptable, that players can change because they know why you're going to change.
I agree with that, Paul. I agree with that. And the best managers, they tend to adapt. I mean, that League Cup final when we went down to 9 men, I believe McCoy's was in charge yet, and then as soon as we went down to 9 men, Smith came down for the stand and he started, Kenny Miller talks about it, he started organising the team. Told McCoy to sit down, son, well, I take care of things here and there. We goes on to actually win the match for 9 men, going down to 9 men and winning the match. I mean, it's unheard of. 10 league titles, 5 Scottish Cups, 6 League Cups, 21 trophies in his 2 stints. That's legendary stuff, pal.
Aye,
that was that time on the touchline. Walter, Stevie, he was actually kicking the ball and heading the ball with the 9 players on the park that day. And the other time I thought I seen him go a bit mental was against him at Ibrox, when I think Bo Anderson scored and he went running right down the enclosure. He went running right down the touchline. Remember, he took half. That's about the last 2 that come to my head where I seen him sort of. But that time I hammed him in 9 men and he kicked every ball and healed every ball with that team, didn't he?
He ran down the touchline that far. He was in the Grapes Bar. What a man! What a man Walter is. I just, everybody's got their memories of him, and nobody I know has got a bad word to say about the guy. He just held himself the way, it's amazing all through that career. You could never find anybody to say, oh, Walter Smith, this or that, I mean, it's amazing to think, just as a person, not one person have I heard bad mouthing that guy. Everybody held him in the highest esteem. It's unbelievable. Everybody liked him. And even and enemies, even the Celtic men, if they're honest, they all had some sort of respect for Walter Smith. And that just told you, that speaks volumes about the guy, you know what I mean? What a man Walter was. In the game with the 9 men, even the Doos were wanting to play for him. Remember the Pigeons were on the part that day. The Doos for him. He was that good, Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. What a man. And very well. It'll sign me up for a game. When that gets unveiled, we'll all think of the man. I was fortunate to meet him twice. I said hello to him once at Duck Bay Marina, and he was at, my boy was playing with the Sons of Struth when he was a wee boy, and his grandson was playing somewhere, and I get talking to him for a couple of minutes. But what a man. When he was talking, you were listening. Plain as simple as that.
Held a room, AK, that's what he done. He held a room when he was in company, when he spoke in that, you know. I'd been in company a couple of times at some Rangers dues in the past. When he was there, had a couple of chats, nothing like long or anything like that, but he just held the room and people were all listening, and he was there talking to people and that, and he just mixed with everybody in the room. That was the thing about him as well. He mixed with everybody. It didn't matter to Walter who you were. He eventually would get round the room and all that at Ibrox, especially at functions like that at Ibrox. He made sure he spoke to everybody, and people that wanted to get a photo signed or whatever, he was always accommodating that way as well. But there's some managers nowadays will no do that unless they're forced to do it, or maybe there's a gig where you get paid to get your photo took, you know what I mean? So somebody else makes in there and they're at it.
Aye. As you say, I would put that down to presence. He had a presence about him, didn't he? But that's a touch of class, Walter doing that. Any individual that does that, you hear the stories of Ray Wilkins being similar as well. Classy individual. Walter was for the morals. You know, he was brought up well, obviously. He was grounded well. And you know, he's missed. It was a sad day when we learned he's passing. And this statue, he'll look over Ibrox, because that was his favourite place to be. He was grew up a Bear, manager of the greatest club in Scotland, and he overlooks us now. So for me, he's well up there with Bill Struth. And Bill Struth was the godfather of Ibrox. Well, Walter for me was the father. The Rangers, the teams that I grew up watching, and who could forget his famous interview with Chick Young in the Tunnel Boys. If there was ever a bit of humour you learned in Walter there, that was fantastic.
That was a cracker, wasn't it? Basil Bowley and Brian Laudrup in the European experience. It was funny. But 12 o'clock on Saturday, I expect to unveil the statue, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people there on Saturday to see it, and after that I suppose you've got the rest of the time to go down and visit it at your leisure. So I'll probably see you down there on Saturday, Stevie.
Can I just ask you, before you move on, did any of you have a Walter Smith cardigan? The famous cardigan? No,
I didn't.
I think AK had one with a big Y on it. Remember that one?
It used to be MCA.
He had a big Y card. Remember them? He used to get Stevie big Y jumpers. He probably had one of them.
A Y cardigan?
A Y cardigan, aye. AK had one of them.
A big white Y. I had a black and grey one with a big white Y. EK would have put his on with a boomerang. And he's a bit on the chubby side of EK, but he's still looked all right, you know.
Well, I was still talking about rebuilding there, so maybe some rumours. Normally we don't, see, to be honest, we don't normally do this on the show, to be honest, but I'm just going to put it with tradition because material's running short tonight. As in who we've been linked with, and there seems to be a heavy rumour, or it's supposed to be really happening, run about Liam Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, if that's the case, now, remember, the man will tell you, also say, it's only rumour, Will, till you see them storming with a scarf, but if the Liam Kelly thing is true, it just sounds to me as if McCrory's went away, and all he's going to be is just filling McCrory's boots. If you're asking me, I think that's the thinking there. So I wouldn't be panicking saying Butland's gone or anything like that. I wouldn't be Liam Kelly. I just think McCrory's went away now, and I think that's going to be his understudy. That's the only thing I could think about that signing, boys.
Aye, possibility. Well, I'm going to open the phone lines because it is a phone-in show. So if anybody like to phone in and have a chat with us tonight about the statue, Walter Smith, any of the signings that might be happening, or the game on Saturday, then I'm sure the boys will give you your answers that you might be looking for. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
AK, Liam Kelly, what's your thoughts on that, should it happen?
Well, hey, having a Kelly on a Rangers jersey will do for me.
You can imagine him doing the fourth signature, Stevie, can't you?
That's an investigation, isn't it? A Kelly and a Rangers. I don't know.
Yeah, just make sure they went to the right school. Well, but the only thing that I would say is obviously we're losing John McLaughlin. That's a given with the contract getting ran out. I think McCrory sitting on the bench, I mean, he's been at our club for he was 7-year-old. He's now, 24, 25, 17 year, 18 year at the club, and he's still not getting his chance. I think Gio convinced him to sign an extension to the contract, and he's still not getting an opportunity. So I think you're right, Stevie. I think that says that McCrory are believing in the summer day. Is he there to replace Jack Butland? We hope no. So we need a decent understudy. So if that's the best we can do, then that's. I think he's getting his business in early that way.
I think if it happens, I mean, he's 28. In my opinion, he's playing regular football. If Jack Butland's staying, which I believe he probably will, unless we get a massive offer, or 15 million and above, I believe the club would probably look to sell. But should that not happen, and Jack Butland wants to stay, then he's coming, Stevie, 28 years of age, playing regular first team football, to come and sit on the bench. And even if Jack Butland leaves, I still don't think he makes number one. So Albear normally calls them tick boxes and squad fillers, but he really wants to come and sit. I mean, all right, I know he's going to pick up bonuses because he's in a squad, but is that the mentality at 28 to come and sit as a number two?
Well, I pay every week the same as you, £30 to go and see the Rangers. If that boy's got to be sitting there with the squad, training, keeping himself fit, going to all these places, all over Europe, and picking up a good wage, if he's a bear, maybe that's his thinking. But if you're somebody with ambition, I don't think you're wanting to just come and sit in the stands, are you?
I know he'll have ambition to maybe come and play should it happen, but I don't see him as a number one, to be honest. No in your first team. I really don't.
Liam Kelly's not a number one for us, mate. Definitely no. It's McCrory's gone. He'll fill McCrory's boots. Butland will stay where he is, 100%. No, he's not coming to Rangers to be the number one. Definitely no. He'll be told that. And even if Butland did go, he wouldn't be a number one. He'd still be a second goalie or a third goalie, I think.
Well, I think we've got a third goalie in Kieran Wright, AK. No, the boy's 24 as well. And he's been sitting on that bench, and we're paying him a wage, and we extended his contract. So we either seen something in him, or we're protecting an asset that we've no saw.
Aye, there's more questions than answers, as you say. The boy Kieran Wright must be wondering what his future lies ahead of him then, because he would see the likes of McCrory sitting there for as long as what he did and not getting his opportunity. He's obviously not going to get his opportunity, so we need to start getting this business right. We're getting too many squad fillers in the club in the first place, and that's why the wage bill has spiralled into what it is now. It's becoming uncontrollable a wee bit. So I don't know where is Butland going to get sold, and if he is, that might help the rest of the team, but you still need a strong number one in there. And I don't think Liam Kelly is that guy for us. Unless Clement is an eye on a player in Belgium or something that we don't know about. But there's going to be a lot of comings and goings, and we've got to try and balance the books. We've got to try and reduce this wage bill. So if that's part of the downgrading, then as a number one, no. But as I say, we're getting at least 2 goalies' wages off of the wage bill. So he's going to be a good backup if anything for somebody, and we hope it's Butland, but if no, then we hope he's got an eye on a better number one than Liam Kelly.
I get if I expect Robbie McCrory to leave. I think he will leave. I don't think he'll hang about, to be honest. And I think McLaughlin will go. Kieran Wright's when not having any first team experience. Stevie will probably stay third choice. I get the fact that Kelly ticks the Scottish box as well, for Europeans, for backup should he have to play or come on if anybody get injured. It's the one thing we've really no suffered for at all in any of the games is an injury to any of our goalkeepers lately. So I find that strange, but I get he's got the experience and he's played at this level. He plays in the Premier League, so I get all that, and he's probably going to be a low cost as well. But I just think 28 years of age in your career, when you're playing first team football and you're coming to just sit on the bench. But everybody, I suppose, people maybe just are different in their views of what they want to do. But I thought the boy would really want to go and still play first team football.
Well, for me, he knows what to expect, doesn't he? He's 28, he knows the Scottish game, he knows all the stadiums, he knows the players. He's a bit experienced, and let's be honest, he knows what you're going to expect from him. Going to Rangers, he knows the expectations. And I think you hit the nail on the head with the Scottish bit in Europe and the squad and stuff like that. That helps too, but for me, he's not number one. Who was the young boy at Hampden that pulled the wonder save off against Aberdeen?
Mason Munn.
Or 16. What the? He looks a good goalie. I don't know, is he not even getting this stuff?
No, he qualifies to play for the under-18s, and he's been playing for the B team. But he went in goals for the under-18s for the cup game. But we've got a host of goalkeepers, Stevie. Honestly, we've got. I think I can't remember them all, but I know we've got one at Stranraer, we've got one at Dumbarton. We've got, if you look at the 4 that we've had all season, with Butland, McLaughlin, Kieran Wright, Robbie McCrory. There's a boy at Stranraer, there's a boy at Dumbarton, the boy Hallworth that couldn't play against us when we played Dumbarton in the Cup. And we've got Mason Munn. We've got a host of goalkeepers there. So I don't know what's going to happen with them all. But the boy Mason Munn that I've seen looks really good.
Mason Munn, what a wonder save he pulled off against Aberdeen in that wee cup final. And you're just looking at these young boys, and do we really need another 28-year-old then when you've got boys like that coming through?
Technically, he's been pretty good, AK. When we played Airdrie Cup and we played... I'll come back to me before it. He had some really cracking saves in that game, and he also carried it on, as you've seen, to the final at Hampden against Aberdeen.
Who was that? The boy Munny talking about there?
Aye, Mason Munn.
Aye, as I say, same as Stevie, we seen the game that it was televised, and he'd a real cracking save. It was a match-winning save because I think we were 2-1 up at the time, and that saved it for going to extra time, potential penalties, whatever was the case after that. But I leapt to his left, right in the top corner it was going, and the boy saved it. So I hope his career comes to fruition where he does get first team performances. But after Liam Kelly, we're looking at Jose Cordobo for Levski Sofia. Is meant to be like a done deal, £3 million left side at centre half. That's got potential to grow arms, but I think you said earlier, Southside Norwich might be looking to kind of hijack the deal a bit. So it's another South American, isn't it? Do we trust this recruitment process?
Well, they were saying that it was quite far down the road. There was a rumour, and it was believed he was up at the Kilmarnock game and he'd had a look about the facilities and that. and also he'd agreed to come, as far as we're led to believe. There is something breaking that Norwich matched the deal or something, they were offering them more wages, but whether it's true or no, I'm unsure. But it seemed like, Stevie, the deal was meant to have been more or less complete, just waiting for Rangers to more or less announce it.
That wouldn't matter much wages they're offering them. See, at the end of the day, Rangers are going to be playing in Europe. They can't offer him that. They're not going to win nothing. He's not going to win medals with Norwich. So surely we're a bigger pull, bigger support, bigger stadium, bigger everything, apart from wages. I know what I'd be doing if I was a boy, you know. But I don't know much about the guy. It's just because it's all rumourville. I don't know how far down the line it is and everything else. And as we're saying to the punters, it's all just rumourville until they're starting with a scarf. But we do need a centre half. That goes for that. No, I mean, that's 100%, you know. They're actually,
yeah, well, I was going to ask, I'll ask AK first. I'll give you time to think if you want, but I know what your answer will be. I think we need more than one centre half, AK. In all honesty,
I would agree with that. The only thing is, as well, with the keeper situation, as I said, does Liam Kelly come in, mean Butland's away? Question marks, because that would give Clement funds to raise for numerous players throughout his team. Does Cordoba coming in mean it's the end of the road for Ben Davies? Possibly, as I said, there's got to be a lot of wheeling and dealing between the what do you call him, the football director of football and Clement, and obviously the board and the finances. Everybody, they've got to align. They've got to be on the same page with everything that's going to be happening in the next few months.
A lot of it, Stevie, comes down to priority as well, right? And as much as we've all said we'd like a magic wand, and to be honest, I'd like maybe say 12 of the players. There could be more, right? But I'm just going to have to tap in my head and saying 12 of them right out the door, and we'll just bring 12 in, right? But we know that's not going to happen. So it's where we need to prioritise, right? We've been to the game all season. We've been there on most of the games all season, Stevie, right? But everybody else out there have watched them as well, right? So we all know where we think it should be chopped and changed, and let's be honest, more or less the whole lot here. But we know there's going to be players that need to stay. It might, the forum might change next year. So, and out of that, I would say Danilo for one when he comes back for injury, and I'll fling, say, Raskin in there. Right, I'll just use they two as examples now. So, Danilo, if you're looking at forwards for next season, you'll need to think that Danilo's going to come back. He would probably be in his head thinking, well, I need to get back playing when I'm fit. Whether he'll come back ready or no, I don't know. But the striker need to be the priority, right winger, striker, or you think we need to sort the back out first? And just if it has to be 2 or 3 centre backs, then that's what it has to be. Or you'll probably find Goalscorer will get to stay because nobody will want him, and he'll be back up, or he might even start. That's the thing. It's going to be where the money can get put into and who's available and how much they're really going to cost.
First things first for me, Southside. I'm always the kind of boy to start for the defence and work my way through the team. But look, let's have a look at, right, we're talking about maybe need to sell Butland and to get money for players. Can I just fling a wee span on the works here? And no man, we'll just get through it quite quickly, right? Rangers is money. What did we get? Season ticket money. What did we get? Strips money. We went to the last 16 Europa League. We've got 50,000 MyJers members. We've now got Edmiston House pulling in door. How do we need to sell players to bring more players in? I mean, what's the season tickets bringing in, boys? Let's be honest. We'll be bringing in about 30 million quid or something.
No, never near. 20 million. Tickets.
But you've got to remember, you'll gross your hospitality boxes, Stevie. See, like all your hospitality boxes and all that as well, when they're flung in. If you factor it out a full season, it's a lot of money as long as we can stay in Europe.
Yep.
That's where we make the money.
We've been
You
doing
know,
that.
aye, but this is going to be a rebuild, right? So we're back to club with the season ticket money, but it looks at the amount of numbers that we've sold, over 40,000, right? And obviously we'll back them when it comes to the European nights and all that. So all that money's generated in with your money, but that's all right. That'll generate all season. You'll get because even your season ticket money, some of that will come in instalments and stuff. Is what people are doing out of the four instalments and all that. So when we're doing our kitty right now, some of that money will have to filter in throughout the season. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, just to simplify it, but I'm just thinking, just say it's even 25 million. I'll meet Alec halfway, right? Your season tickets. It was meant to be £9 million a year on good years with Castor, wasn't it? So, and then you've got your majors, and then you've got your European run, which we've been getting to the last 32 and the last 16 nearly every year, haven't we? Europa. Then you've got your TV money and all that, where it goes with that. So how do we really need to get ready for the guys that we need? I mean, we don't want Butland to go. We want to build for Butland out the way.
Aye, Butland, I wouldn't even put him in the equation. I would just leave him as he would be having my goals next season, AK. But I still think manager will prioritise where he wants to put the money and what we really need. That's how I'll probably know. I'm hoping there'll be sweeping changes. I think the board will listen. The board back to last manager.
Aye.
Let's not be kidded here. They gave him the money. Whether they should have gave him all that money, AK, but he got a lot of money, and we got money in, but that money just doesn't just come in because we sell Bassey for 20 million. We got that 20 million. That doesn't happen. We'll probably still be paying We'll probably still get money off Everton for Patterson.
Aye, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Can I just? I don't mean to correct you that, Stevie, but the figures that I know, and I've kind of done a bit of digging on it as well. We had an £82 million turnover last year, right? And we paid out 64 million in wages, club wage bill. Now that was an increase of £13 million for the year before. So even though we're getting the likes of Butland and that coming in a free transfer, his wages.
That's in Edmiston House, all your people are
but Stevie, just let me finish, please, Bill. Like, see the Edmiston House, the board told us it was going to cost between £3 and £6 million. Well, that turned into £12 million, and they told us they were going to be making a £1 million a year profit on it. I think the last books was £50,000, and they made out that. So we've been losing a lot of money. We've been spending money in corporate suites and lounges and all that, upgrading within iBooks. I know you're saying Southside, the board gave Beale a lot of money. Aye, they did in essence, but they also got in money for Cholak and Sakala and Kamara and everything. So they really only spent maybe about £5 million or something. But the real crux, the noose round the club's neck, is the club wage bill. As I say, it's increased 51 million to 64 million. We're left, we had assets with Bassey and Aribo. Who's our assets now? We're talking about our goalkeeper, we're talking about Sterling, we're talking about maybe Cantwell. There's no many assets after that, and that's a big problem. Yilmaz, we've got an aging squad there as well, so there's a lot of things that's got. I think that's where Clamont's coming from, where he's saying the end of the cycle. This is the end of the cycle for the Gerrard era. We've still got players, a lot of players for the Gerrard, through to Gio, through to Beale, with what Clamont's got to deal with now. So he's trying to make a team out of it, and that's where he's finding problems, because the medical staff is basically dictating to him his team that he's picking every game, because Seema will only last an hour and Yilmaz will only give you 45 minutes. Ryan Jack, you can't play him for the start. He'll only give you 40 minutes. Roof will only give you 20 minutes. The guy must be banging his head against the wall. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of the problems, I think, is came from within the club. We need to rip it up, start again. As Southside said there, see if we could get rid of 15, 20 players and start again. But then you've got to do all your sums and all that and get rid of players and players are going to. I think we've got 17 players that's contracted to 2026 at least. You know, so they've got to sit there and take their money if they're not getting picked. They're not moving because they're not moving for less money than what they are. The Castor deal, it's £5 million they were gaining over 5 years. 25 million seems a lot of money, but what percentage are we getting the merchandise? It's no covering the losses. And you're right, Stevie, you should be asking questions because we all led up the garden path to say, oh, these are all great deals and everything that we're signing to improve the squad and to get better players in. But now we're getting filled with mercenaries or Lundstrom, you know what I mean? Running contracts down, we're not selling guys when we should be selling them. It's just been a basket case for years.
I totally agree with you, Kay. I think we need to rip it up and start again. You're totally right. But the good thing about this season for me was you're saying, well, we get at the end of the season, Lundstrom's away, Barisic away, Roof's away, Ryan Jack's away. All these guys, we could go on and on and on and on and on. Well, surely, if Roof's on, say, 30 a week, and Barisic, whatever he was on, and the rest of them are on, surely that wage bill then will start correcting itself and fall in line with where it should be.
Aye, it will. Once we start dropping the wages down, obviously off the high earners and the players that are going to be surplus to requirements. One or two will probably be harder than what we think. That right, they might know, but
Southside, who's gone? Who's gone after the cup final? Who's away? Who's gone? Right, we know Roof's away. Right, we know he's gone. We know Barisic gone.
Roofing, but Lundstrom, Barisic and Jack should be gone.
Right. Scott Wright, is he getting kept or gone?
No, he's still there. He's contracted.
He's got another year. Listen, he's probably a low cost, and unless he might just be like backup for one season. Phil's just got his quota. It'll depend how many players we sign that are Scottish or how many boys that we can bring out the youth team that are going to go into the bench in Europe. Listen, you can sit on the bench in Europe if you want, but listen, if they're on the bench, they might have to come on. So you want to be of a standard that they should be in about the first team next year competing to get in the team. But whether that will be the case or no, but Scott Wright, I think he'll probably still be there just because he fills a quota and he's no too costly. Just my opinion. But I hope he's away because he doesn't bring anything, does he?
John thing, mate. He'll be gone, won't he?
Silver will be away. He'll be out the door. Seema's going to get out the door. So they're no our players anyway. So even if you don't even take into consideration that you might try and bring one back, they two are out the door.
Yep.
And Sam Lammers will probably get punted out the door. Hadji will probably get punted out the door.
Right.
Cifuentes is another one. Probably Kieran Dow, probably, I know, because only what he's contributed, but that depends on the manager. He might think I'll keep him because if he's fit, I'll use him. Tom Lawrence should be sold, I think.
Guys, honestly, see,
Matondo and all.
Aye, and your vice captain. Surely I would try and get rid of him even for £1 million to get him off a wage bill, honestly.
Ben Davis.
Mate, and he's going to be a yard slow. It's going to be another half a yard slower this season coming. I'm sorry, but he's not quick enough, the big man.
The thing is, right, and this is the thing that we all know, we're all pretty unhappy, right, that we didn't get the job done when we had a chance to get it over the line. But we know what we've just said about the players. Hardly any of them's kicked a ball this season for us to be any consistency. And the ones that have been the ones that have been slaughtered the most. And that'll be Lundstrom, Goalscorer and Tav. Right? That's fact. And then if you ask probably 3/4 or 80% of the support, or maybe more, they'll say they three have got to go. You know? So and the managers had to deal with this all season. He's had to deal with guys that are there under 3 or 4 managers, you know, and they've all played different styles of football. Gerrard had the fittest I think we've ever been as in the last number of years as a team. I think we were fit. I think we were professional. I think he demanded respect, and I think he had the will to win. Then Gio had to go in and contend with it all, and done no bad in Europe for us, but couldn't get us over the line in Scotland. But he still was playing with some of his players. And then same again, he goes and we get Beale, and he goes back to a different style, buys players to fit a system that doesn't suit this manager because he was no good at his job. Come on, let's get hundreds of pressure on him next season, because we'll be demanding that he gets his this league title.
Yep.
And he's got to have to go out and rebuild a team, AK, a team that's got to come in and expect to win every single week to win this league.
Aye, it's a conundrum, and you can realise the pressure that he's been under. He's not been saying. I think he's been keeping a lot under wraps. He's trying to, as much as possible, keep things under wraps. But the odd thing will come out with the likes of Sterling coming out in an interview after the Ross County game and basically saying it wasn't good enough, we were rubbish. But then he'll say, aye, well, sort of make excuses a wee bit. We've still accumulated so many points and this and that. And I just think he's been firefighting a lot. We can't keep blaming the manager, in my opinion, when he's still got players that's been at the club for that many years. And there's an obvious pattern there where we haven't been successful domestically in Scotland. Celtic has been the dominant team. You can't hide that. And our results against them prove that. I mean, when we did, we were successful in the league campaign. Gerrard record against them, I think he had 13 games against them. He had 8 victories, I think 2 draws and just 3 defeats. We've not beat Celtic. Hollander scored the header. When actually Gerrard was the manager then, but he was doing with COVID, and I think it was Gary McAllister that took her. I mean, that's what, 2-3 years ago now, guys. We've not beat Celtic. We beat them once. Beale last year, we beat them 3-0. But we've had 1 victory against them in 11. That's unacceptable for a Rangers team. We need to try and find the secret ingredient to breaking that. And the thing for me is you have got to have that clear out, because there's a lot of players in that dressing room with the mental baggage, with their beat before they even go out there. And that's not the attitude that we want to see after your players, after your manager, after your directors. You know, mind John Bennett, best in class thing. He came out with us, and he thought it was the best squad of players we had when Gio was there. And what did we win? Not a great deal. And we've continued on that cycle. So we need to break that cycle. There's a lot of big decisions to get made. I don't think the manager is deserving of the pressure and the scrutiny of what he's been under. His pedigree before coming here says that he is a proper manager. Beale wasn't he? That was shocking. For me, that was Stuart Robertson and Ross Wilson that made that decision when Gio was under pressure against Aberdeen, and we got Beale shaking hands with directors in the directors' box and going to Loudon Tavern and what have you. I mean, what kind of why is that to conduct your business as a Rangers board? And that, I thought that was disgusting what they done with Gio. But come on, I do trust come on, until he gives me reason to know it. But he's been hampered with team selections. He needs to prove he's adaptable a wee bit now to the Celtic game in particular, because it's pretty obvious the players that he's got, the personnel that he's got, doesn't suit the system that he wants. So he needs to prove that he's adaptable to do that, to regain some of the trust, some of the question marks in the Rangers support. But it's the players that need to go out there and follow his instructions to get the result that we're looking for, the victory that we're looking for, because this cup is massive, guys. You know it, I know it, and everybody else out there knows it.
That's right. Just you remember his Dream Team Wednesday. You're only a special offer, okay? 5-minute rant.
I know. I was just letting him go there. He was just on the floor. He was on the floor there, wasn't he? So, but no, listen, he makes a lot of good points, right? We know that. I just hope, but come on, he's got a massive job, and he alluded to it a couple of weeks ago. It's probably bigger than they thought, because he's seen now all the players, he's seen what some of them have got to offer, he's seen them in big game, and he's probably looking at their mentality, Stevie, throughout the week, as the weeks and months have been on.
Southside, I went out of the studio one day and looked up, and there was 2 bids in this guy. AK has totally talked a lot of sense for a change. The man's bang on. The boy's been shuffling the pack, and he said it earlier on, he's only getting so many minutes out of Roof, so many minutes out of Big Balligan, the wee postman Pat, wee Radvan. He's juggling packs, and there's suspensions, and you name it. The guy's done a great job with the pool that he took on. I mean, let's be honest, when he took the job on, most Rangers fans had their white flag up before he even took the job on, because the mess Beale left it in. The big man's got a song out of them, and we took them to the second last game of the season, more or less. So that was the bad for that point. But there's games where you're saying you need to change this, and see, he doesn't live without sin, the big one. But if you're asking me, he's got my full backing, and I know the board will back him, and he's got my full backing, the big one. I think some of the criticism he has got is a wee bit OTT. It's just anger because we needed to win the league this season. We're really desperate to get our league won this season. But the big man, in fairness, when you step back, when all's done, if he wins 2 trophies this season, last 16 of Europe, and took them to the second last game, he can then look back at it and say, that's no bad for his first 6-7 months. So let's see what he can do with his own players. Well done, EK, by the way.
Aye, that's the thing he's got to be judged on. He's got to get a bit of time, and unfortunately, as we know, we don't get a lot of time. And the players, for what he's had to work with, had got themselves into a position, and then they've just not managed it. But Saturday's going to be different. When Saturday comes, we'll probably talk about that a bit more after the tune. It's a cup final, and it's one you want to win, and it's one you really want to win when you find out that it's you go in the final, AK, so that's what we're looking forward to Saturday. Hopefully the players that he picks will be fit enough. We'll be talking about that in the second part as well. See if we can maybe pick a team between us, what we think it might be. But it's just a massive incentive for the players that are going to be there next season, that I think will maybe have an idea they might be there. But it's got that trophy in the cabinet, mate, innit? That's what it's all about.
That's 100%, pal, 100%, and that's what Walter's message would be to them as well. Just go out there and win, but by hook or crook, scratch, bite, teeth, everything that Stevie would say. Just get in there about them and go out there and win the trophy. Put red, white, and blue ribbons on that trophy and send the Bears home happy.
Listen, I'd be giving them a cassette, see if they've got that rap music on at half time, give them the Governed Protestant Boys and get them on at half time, and as they get out there and do their business. That's what I would be saying.
Well, I'll be bringing this right up to the tune time now, I believe. So if you 2 gentlemen would like to get yourselves on mute, we're going to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Every Saturday we follow, successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, will follow near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Whoa.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, Saturday, 3 o'clock, and we'll all be decked out in blue AK in that Rangers end.
Sure will, mate. Sure will. Aye, it's one to look forward to. If the players can't get themselves up for this one, then Stevie's right. They shouldn't be wearing their jersey. So we've got to come up with. We've got to have a few honest conversations first and foremost. I think they've probably had that. They've had a week to prepare, and just go out there and just leave everything out there. I mean, the Rangers support will accept a defeat. Obviously not against them, right enough, but if
I was just about to say, will we?
no, what I mean is if you give everything, we'll accept that a wee bit better than what we would if you're starting to look in the mirror and say, could I get more today? If we've got one of these sort of performances either in the dugout or on the field, then that's when questions, and there'll be a few angry bears if that happens. So just go there and leave everything out in the park and hopefully win.
Stevie.
Oh, the phone lines are buzzing too, eh? I know what EK means. 100% I know what it means. We don't accept any defeat, but I know what he's saying. If you give 110%, you don't need to look in the mirror after the game, then, listen, this Rangers team just need to go and win their individual battles. Players, 1 year, we're fitter than them. We are fitter than them. I don't care what anybody says. We finish strongest against them all the time. Now, I'm just hoping we win our individual battles. Just get out there, get your sleeves rolled up, do it for Walter and Big Phil and the fans, and get out there and do the business. And we'll all be decked out in blue, as Southside says. And I hope everybody that's gone to Hampden's wearing blue. The boys have asked us to do it. They do it all year round. We can do it one game for them. They're asked us to all wear blue. Let's get out there and get the business done. Let's do it. Come on, Rangers. Let's do it, man. We are a people.
You know what will happen? There'll be people that are going, I'm not getting dealt with today. I'm not wearing blue. I've seen a couple of people at it already. No, they're not telling me what to wear. Oh, come on, give us a break. Just wear something blue. No, I mean, come on.
Not the best about it, Southside. Half of them you would need to tell Rangers are in blue. It's their first game of the season.
Excuse me, mate, but you're standing in my seat where I'm meant to be sitting. I'm meant to be sitting here, and this is my row. No. Aye. I'll be.
I spoke to the that guy about he's 3 rows down.
I'm sure they'll have a good tifo on display, and I'd like to think, the UB. But no, looking forward to it. Massive game. Listen, cups, anybody can win a cup, and I've always said that on here. The league, I've always said, league's the most important because anybody can win a cup, anybody. But it's there to be took. And as you said, I heard you saying, Stevie, match your man and all that. But the system sometimes that we play, AK, and I'll come to you, Stevie, we've left that sort of man spare at times. No, the system slightly worries me, although we've took 3 goals off them in the second half of a game at Ibrox playing that system, the 4-2-3-1. It's got us to where we've got to. I don't know if that will be system next year. I don't know if he'll adapt and maybe go a back 3 and play a 4 and a 3 or a 5 and a 2. I don't know what he'll do because he'll have his own style of players in AK. It'll be interesting, but we'll all probably say tweak the system, but I believe he'll stick to the system.
You could be right. You could be. Listen, it's just that everybody. I think you nailed it earlier on. See, because we're not winning, and we're starting to pick holes in the team, pick holes in his selection, pick holes in the way he's talking and the pressers and stuff like that. See, if we were winning, you wouldn't be saying any of this. That just comes with the territory. Us as supporters, we just see it as like Gerrard matched them in the midfield, didn't he? He went 4-3-3. And we were successful in that period. Maybe it's as I say, that the players, you look at it from Clement's point of view, he's only in the club 7 months, right? It's the vast majority of players isn't his players, so he's yet to find out the character of the players. What ones does he trust? What ones does he not trust? He's getting told, you're right back. Your captain is the weakest link in our team, but he keeps playing him there. But the captain's maybe then telling him, well, I can't play in front of me because none of our managers has done it in the 9 years that I've been here. We've played 4-2-3-1 for the last 2 years. Does he scrap everything up and then just, put it out there to change it for the sake of changing it? I mean, then he's really going to get the shit off the fans, isn't he? If he does that. But I don't know, we just see it. We see it unfolding out there, and when things aren't going well, that's when we start to pick holes in it. As you say, at Ibrox, we scored 4 goals in the second half. We absolutely dominated them. But then we go to Celtic Park, we go in ourselves again, and we capitulate again. But this time we've got the support behind us. We didn't have the support at Celtic Park. That's twice at Celtic Park we've played them with 10 men as well. By the way, that's facts that the manager's talking about. That's no excuses, that is facts. And the facts are we've been beat 1-0, 2-1, 2-1, and drew 3 each. They've taken 10 points. That's facts as well. But it's all been close defeats. That first goal for me, I would say, guys, is vital. And there's a stat there that Crocker's come out with, the last couple of things on the commentary that you might not have heard, but he said only 5 times in the last 103 Old Firm games, the team that concedes first goes on to win the match. So if we score first, we should be looking to go on to win the match. If we concede first, it's very unlikely we're going to come from behind and win the game. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, I know you look at the games and that, but I still think there's no reason why we can't beat them. The games have been close. We've gave away stupid goals, and players have sort of no track runners at certain times. And you know how they play. Listen, see, the thing is, we can get to them. We've watched how they leak goals. We've watched how we've had chances against them and had good chances to try and score, but no executed them at the times. So I still believe that they're no strong. Their midfield might be decent to a point when they get space and time. And if you're not maybe matching them up, I'm not the idea, Stevie, that the number 10 goes in, traps into Mark McGregor. Because I just think then that's his job and he can't press. He's got to keep dropping in, and that's what I noticed for the last game, that if you're using him to drop into him, but it was Lawrence. Lawrence couldn't go and press with Dessers. We're saying the press is all rang. It was all rang because he had to drop into to mark a Watt at that time at Ibrox. You know, so I don't get it.
Their midfield will be McGregor, Hattiti, and who else? That O'Reilly. O'Reilly, aye. That'll be their midfield. Honestly, see if you stop their midfield, you stop them. Honestly, that's just how I see it. And I would honestly play Big Sterling in the midfield. I said it the last game. I just don't want it to sound as if I'm repeating. I just hope there's a big gap in our game. In the midfield, for front to defence, there's a big gap. We've not got the right players for the system that he wants to play. Everybody can see that. And hopefully, obviously, next season, he can get the players that are a lot fitter than Johnny Lundstrom. And guys, I mean, an old woman, a pram kid past Lundstrom halfway through a game. You only get 70 minutes at the beginning. And I don't want to run him down because the other piece has been not a bad player for us. But I just think the midfield is going to be a big factor in this game. And I hope at some point he puts Big Sterling in there at some point. I really do. I know you're going to probably say it's not going to happen, but I'm just hoping that he does something different. He just changes it up a wee bit, because that big boy Sterling is powerful and he'll run all day for you. He's no shy of tackle. McGregor and that, he'll crap his drawers. That's how I see it. No?
Aye, I don't think he will either, but listen, he lives and dies by his decisions. Come on, he'll have a team. My thing is it might not matter in the two unless we're going to be brave and play the pass through the midfield quickly, move it the way we move it and get it out wide. And we know we can do it, but if Tav's going to hit the long ball, then like we do sometimes to try and get defences turning, but she's been playing for the last number of weeks due to probably personnel. If you're playing Silva out there, he's not that quick to get down. Seema would be your guy because it worked at the start of the season when we played the Diags. But it doesn't matter who you've got in the two in the midfield then for me, if you're just going to keep knocking the ball along. So we're going to have to try and play the passing game that we can play.
Aye, well, we'd like to think we're a passing team. We're a good team to watch when we're on our game. The problem is getting the personnel out in the park that we're looking for. We've spoken about it for weeks. Post-match, pre-match, when Cortez was there, he gave us a different output with Diamondi and Ridvan. I'd love Ridvan to start, and so would come on, I think. But is he getting dictated with the medical team that he doesn't have a full game in him? Do we start Barisic there, or do we go Sterling there? You know what I mean? And then we're looking for Sterling to give an input into the midfield as well. We're looking for Sterling to cover Tavernier. I mean, geez, it's a problem when players in the team can't do their job and become untrustworthy enough that we're When you go, Stevie.
You're totally right. That is a problem when guys can't come out. Listen, mate, they should all be running and fighting to their blue in the face. They're pulling that jersey on. They should all be doing what they should be doing as Rangers play. And it's a total and utter worry. Then when you're talking about, many positions have we played Sterling this year. 6 different positions.
He's played wide left, wide right. He's played centre mid. He's played centre back now. He's played left back. I don't actually know if he's actually played right back.
And the place that we want him to play, he's no played him.
Listen, Stevie, I'm all for right. We've seen him right. We've all seen him right. He is all heart and fire and all that. But you've got to try and utilise him in a position where he's going to be effective. And he's been all right in flashes where, if you remember, away to Kilmarnock, where we took off McCausland, we brought him on, and then the left back didn't do much, and he was sort of trying to get by him and that, and then he was influential at Easter Road playing wide right, and then we've seen him twice at St Mirren, wide left and right, and doing nothing. Seen him at Dundee, wide right, doing nothing. Celtic Park, doing nothing. Well, he contributed for the header across the Dessers. McCausland wouldn't have done that, but we need to get him nailed to a position, mate. That's what we need to do to make him more effective,
Yep. And you're going to say, disagree with me. I want him in the midfield. We've stumbled out something. I've got to agree with Ox here. We've stumbled out something, and I know he wasn't bought as a midfielder. He was bought to cover Tav. But for me, you're right. Get a position for him and play him there every week. See this using the boy. What we're going to do if the goalie is up? We're going to play him in goals. Listen, you're right. We need to get him in a position. We need to get a best 11 on the park. See that I know that squad and rotating and all that, but see just the way we are there now. I would just love the start of next season. You're playing a left back at left back. You're playing your centre halves, and you're getting players in the right position and let them find each other. Let them get to know how each other works.
Well, I'll agree. I'll agree with you that I think in the 2 games, the last one and I think Saturday, I would have him in the midfield, right? Centre midfield, right? I would for this game coming up. AK, I'll come to you, right? See, long term, I would rather he just went in and we had a look at him at right back, because that's where he started playing his career. I know he's hardly played there for us. He's played a few games. I would rather he goes in there at right back, and then we stop leaking goals, hopefully, for the right-hand side, and he'll do what Clement wants him to do. Prime job, as Albert says, your primary job is to defend. So that's where I would have him, Alex. And I think next season, Clement will want midfielders that are going to be whatever, just real midfielders, players that will play and get on the ball and make things happen. He'll no do that in there, AK. No long term, I think he's your right back.
I can see your thinking. I can see that your two thinkings. I mean, we all know we're a bit lightweight in midfield because we're getting overrun far too often, and I think that's where Stevie and Ox is coming from. But I can see 100% where you're coming from. I mean, the guy is a right back. He's played there most of his career there, but because of Tavernier, that's his starting position. What are you going to do? Say to the boy, no, I'm going to wait till I get my position at right back, or do you want a game in the team and then integrate into your team elsewhere and obviously improve different attributes to your game? So he's going to say that. And it's the same with Leon King. For me, Leon King's a midfielder, but is he going to sit on his backside and wait his opportunity in at midfield? He's not getting one. No, he's going to put his horn up and say, I'll do a job at centre back. McCausland, you going to wait for your number 10 position? No, okay, I'll do a job out in the right there. So they're all putting their horn up for the sake of the team, which is good for Clement, but they're not playing their natural position. So it looks disjointed for me. The structure of the team, I'm alarmed with a wee bit. None of them look disciplined enough to hold their position. I mean, see, you cast your mind back to Clement's very first game in charge, Hibs at Ibrox. 4-0 we beat them. You hardly seen Tavernier or Ridvan or maybe even Barisic at the time go over the halfway line. We were structured in defence, we were structured, disciplined in midfield, and we scored some cracking goals that day. That's the sort of performance I want to see on Saturday. See all this Tavernier just roaming up the park and Ridvan or Barisic and doing what they want. I mean, there was at times at that game last week at Dundee at Ibrox, we were playing two centre-backs with Raskin in the front of him, and 7 of our players were within 30 yards of their goal. That's the sort of structure of the team that we are playing in Dundee were picking us off. So Celtic will pick us off if we start doing that.
I think he does want to play quite far up apart, a press and all that, Stevie. I mean, we were doing it pretty good at the start when he first came in, and it might have been the fact that Alex alluded to that maybe the fullbacks were sitting a wee bit deeper. But he has said, I want to go out there, I want to dominate the ball, I want to play aggressive, and I want my team to score goals.
Aye. Well, listen, see, you're talking about pressing, see that Celtic defence? They can't keep hands out of midden. People are scoring against them nearly every game. So what you're doing there is, see Dessers running to a player. When Dessers is going to run to Scales or whoever it is, the other ones have got to push up and mark the other player. In this sense of one guy pressing. But see if we do it right and we do it as a unit, the boys up front, that you'll get change out that Celtic defence, because Big Hart's a bomb scare. Telling you, he cost them, and hopefully cost them on Saturday. I'm telling you, if we press that, put pressure on that Celtic defence, we'll be able to get change out of them. That's just how I feel about there. But yeah, getting back to EK's right, most of what he's saying, you know what I mean, when it comes down to getting people in the right places. But listen, guys, it's a one-off. If you want to just look at it as a one-off game, can we do them? Of course we can, man. They're no great shakes. Tactically, I'd like to see Clement doing something different. Will he do it? I don't know. What personnel he'll put out? I don't know. I know what I'd be doing if I was Clement. I would have that big man in the midfield. I really would. And I know it's not his natural position and all the rest of it, but I just think that big guy in that midfield helping out and running, he'll run that 90 minutes. And I'm telling you, I think we'll get change out of them if that big man's in the midfield, because we'll get too big a gap. There's massive gaps. We're asking these guys to Diamondi and that. You can see they're knackered all the time. They're trying to cover every blade of grass and close down and be up the field with the ball and turn it over and everything else. They can't do everything. I just think we've got to change the system a wee bit to suit the game, the one-half game.
Aye, you're right, Stevie, but we'll see what happens. Listen, it is a phone-in show, and obviously we're hoping that we'll get a couple of callers in. I know there's a few for the dark side been trying to get in, and they've unfortunately not made it. So if there's any fellow blue noses out there that would like to phone in, we'll certainly get you on the phone lines, AK.
Aye, come on in and speak to us, everybody. Give us your thoughts. It's not exactly Dream Team Wednesday. It's Dream Team plus me. Maybe it's me that's dragging it down.
Not at all, mate. Listen, I would love for some of the dark side to go on and give them it tight, because they're still playing catch-up, even though they've cleaned up lately.
Well, unfortunately, they haven't, mate, because you know how efficient that our techie team are. So, unfortunately, they've been trying, but they've not managed to get on. So, that's the way it is. But anyway, Saturday, aye. What do you think? Do you see Cantwell, AK starting? Do you think Cantwell will start, considering he's no started the last two and he played 90 minutes against Hearts, which I thought was surprising?
Aye, I would. Why no? No, I mean, it's no worked. He's put Lawrence in that position the last two games and he's been overrun, so why no? Just let him off the leash and do what he does. Hopefully his creativity will bring something to the table, but I would like McCausland to start as well. That might be controversial, and it's the system to play now to fit everybody in. If Stevie's wanting Sterling to play in the midfield, does that mean that you have to be dropping McCausland or Cantwell? I hope no. I would rather see the two in a blue shirt out there rather than Silva for me. Silva, it's all about him, and I don't like that attitude.
Aye, that's something that does my head in. Badge kissers. No, I mean, McCoist. I'll just come to you in a second, pal. McCoist, aye, kissed the jersey, the badge sometimes because he scored a goal in a cup final or something that meant something. Alberts and all, I can remember Stevie. But when I seen Cantwell doing it in a 3-each draw, I thought, come on, you know, it means absolutely hee-haw here.
No. Listen, you do your talking, you know, your trophy count does your talking, doesn't it? And that's what they need to get right. Beating them. And, listen, do the business first and foremost, and then do all your badge kissing and all your emailing and whatever you want to do. But first and foremost, you need to do your talking in the park, man. You need to get all that line. Guile, fight, determination, shows that, and before you start kissing badges and all the rest of it. I want blood, sweat and tears here on Saturday, Southside, you know. Yeah.
Well, we better bring our guest in because he's a blue nose, so we Al's phoned in all the way from Canada. How you doing, Al?
How you doing, guys? Nice to hear you, EK, Stevie and Southside.
Aye, good mate.
Yeah. Brand new.
Yeah, I thought I'd call in the big station across the nation tonight because I'm listening to you talking and you guys are making a lot of sense tonight.
Thanks very much. It's no often people say that.
You might get a letter to go to HR and get tested. Floor's yours, Al. On you go, floor's yours, pal.
Yeah, just coming in. I got a couple of points. I just wanted to call in because this is something I'm passionate. I'm passionate about transfers and money in, money out in the club because it's so important. Now, right now, a couple of numbers for you. Right now, we're spending $4 million a year more than the other side on our top 33 players, our first team. So now the players coming out of contract. If you believe it, Ruth is getting 26,000, Lundstrom 24, Barisic 21, Balogun 8, McLaughlin 6, Jack 8. That's 91,000 a week. That's 4.9 million a year going out of the club. That's massive. That's massive. That needs to go. That money is there for nothing. Now, if we're talking about somebody like Goldson, this is what I found really interesting. Goalson's the highest paid player, $37,000 a week. It's $1.9 million a year. Now, 5 clubs in the league, the whole entire team cost less than 1.9. St Mirren, Livingston, St Johnstone, Dundee, and believe it or not, Ross County, who beat us, spent less than 1.9 million in their first team, all of their full first team players. It's insane that money for value for Goldson, we're not getting it. So it's not that we know that they're Rangers players and we like them and we want them to do good, but if you think about the finances of it, it's absolutely insane. Now, Motherwell and Kilmarnock only spend 2.3 million. We give Tav 1.6 million a year in salary. Goalson and Tavernier are more than all those clubs put together, except from obviously Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen, who spend about 4 million. But between Goalson and Tavernier, that's near enough 4 million a year on 2 players, and that's more than what Hearts putting out. It's very interesting, because if you look at salary as well, think about players we want to bring in like Miovski and Miovski and Shanklin. Shanklin gets 3,000 a week. Miovski gets 4,500 a week. Alex Lowry gets 6,500 a week. When he went to Hearts, he was the highest paid player. No wonder the guy's not kicking the ball. He doesn't need to. He's getting paid an absolute fortune. We need to rip it up and start again, and I just hope our manager can do it. What do you think about that, guys?
I'll pass that one first to AK.
Thanks for that, Southside. It's alarming. It's alarming figures when you put it out there. Good stats there, Paul. The only fact that underlines is how vast the gap is between Rangers and Celtic and the rest of Scottish football. So we should be dominating league fixtures, cup fixtures up until we come up against them. And this year is pretty much proving that. The only thing is, obviously, the league defeats that we've had this year. We've had 7 league defeats, and they've only 3. But the 3 that they've had is Kilmarnock and Hearts twice. So that it's imperative that we need to start laying a glove on them, because at this moment in time we're no. And until we do that, we're not going to be winning any leagues or any trophies. So we need to start on Saturday. We've been saying this for how long now? We know that. But I think the major problem is the recruitment in the squad. It's regressed for me. If Gerrard left the club, it's got worse. I mean, like say, Beale sold 4 players there last year. Cholak, Sakala, Morelos walked away for nothing. Arfield walked away for nothing. And Kamara, Kent as well. Again, walked away for nothing. That's bad business on our part. But going back to Cholak, Sakala, Morelos and Arfield, that was 47 league goals there the previous year. When we brought in Dessers, Danilo, Sima, Lammers, Dow, well, we already had Cantwell, Matondo. They had only, 42 goals between 7 players there. And that's been a major reason, I think, why we've came unstuck this year, as well as the fact the results against Celtic.
Yeah, because you got to think about when you're playing. These guys are coming in, they're big players. They're good players, right? They come in and they get this money. They have no motivation. That's why I like when James called the other night. He was saying, I believe 2-year contracts with incentives and then option to stay on if you perform. If we don't have guys in that are willing to form or willing to run or willing to, make an effort, these guys are just, they don't need to do anything because they're rich. That they've made their money. They're here for the money. It's a cash cow thing. They're not motivated. I'm not saying they're all not. I'm saying like they do try hard, Dessers and stuff like that. They try hard, but we're paying millions to people like Davis and Davies, and he's a good player, but is it worth it? I don't think so. Think of McClawson, right? I don't know what happened after his new contract, because I think he just signed a new contract. He was getting paid $700 a week. $700 a week. People like Lennon Miller at Motherwell and Cornbarn at Aberdeen are getting paid about $700, $800 a week. These guys, they're going out there every week and doing it and making an effort because they've got a desire. They're heading somewhere. They're going somewhere. We're bringing in players that have already been where they're going to be, and they come here as a pinnacle, and it's here, sit here and take the money. We should never give people at Goalscorer a 4-year contract. We have to really, change everything like that, and that, for me, is so important, because the finances are just as much as important as winning trophies, and I believe that.
Yeah, you're right. I think, Stevie, it's like, you look at Hank Ruff, obviously, probably try to get him to come to Ibrox. Stevie G was there, wasn't he? So probably that's how we probably got that sort of wage. But I think if we've got to get the right type of player, wages are all right, but it doesn't get, just because you have a high budget doesn't always mean you win the league. But you just got to form a team, I think, Stevie. You've got to get the system and a team playing. It doesn't really matter how much the player costs. So I know you get better quality, but you know what I'm saying? Better to play as a unit than individuals.
Can I just get back to wee Robert? Absolutely brilliant, all your figures. That you've clearly done your homework, Robert. But see what you're saying about Goulson. Listen, mate, Goulson's the vice captain. See his attitude against Hibs that day in the semi-final. He had his beat at half time. See, no cutting that ball out in the Europa League final. I never forgave him for that.
I haven't either.
Contract. To give him a 4-year contract. Him and Tav get 4-year contracts. I don't know what kind of businessmen we've got in the club. And as EK said there, and all the players will let other contracts run out. The money our club fling down the drain, and between half-hearted guys, serial losers, and guys that are no bad that we could probably get some money on, just letting their contracts run out. And it's absolutely...
Hi, how you doing?
Hi. Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking to Southside.
Oh, Southside, aye.
Aye, would you want to make a point? Everybody's listening.
Aye, I would, actually. It's mostly to do with, everybody's talking there about the players and the amount you need to pay maybe for decent players, but then you pay the money, and before you came where they are, they've did their bit and they're off, and we're getting no money back for them. And that, I heard somebody else saying there, a shorter contract, I think, is a good idea. And no putting out as much in wages for them, maybe for the first couple of years we've got them. That way we're no losing so much. We're losing too many players that are going, and we're getting nothing back. You know what I mean?
Aye, John. I think it's just the fact of just kept them that long, and we never cashed in when we could have at certain times. And there's other ones, and there's ones there now that's leaving because, like Ryan Jack and Ruff, for instance, they return more or less because they're injured. No.
And Lundstrom, etc. We're not getting nothing back, so we're never going to get out the bit. I mean, we're never getting out the bit, actually. When you think about it, or the last, somebody was talking there since we had Jared in. I would love to have seen him staying on a wee while longer, Ken, but even Gio, I mean, that to me was, he was done wrong there. That man was done wrong when he left Van Bronckhorst. Definitely.
All right, I'll ask Stevie what he thinks of that, John. He's a wee second, I'll put it around a couple of the boys that's on the panel. Stevie?
Aye. Is it John?
John.
John, aye.
Aye. Listen, you're totally right. Listen, Rangers aren't doing their business right. They're showing players too much loyalty. Letting contracts run out, letting players dictate and decide what they want to do. And rightfully, what you've just said, the way Gio left. Now, whether it doesn't matter why he was leaving, whether it was results, was they been good enough, the way Rangers went about their business, having Beale sitting in that stand, Things need to get tidied up here. That's not how we do business.
That's right. You're right enough. I mean, I'm still angry about that yet, like the way that they did that with that man. And he was a great player for us. He did his time with us, and he did well. But they treat him like that. I just felt, nah, that's just it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. And It was the same when Morelos was and Kent were what do you call it, injured. And we had Kolak at that time. And Kolak was doing a no bad job for us. But Beale preferred Morelos or Kolak. So when Morelos began to get a wee bit fitness about him, then we didn't see Kolak. And Morelos he hadn't changed. I mean, he was there thinking, I'll just play my time out here because somebody's going to come in for me. I've not got long to go. My contract's up. Kent was the same. Well, they got a bit of a shock because nobody come in for them.
I think that's when you need your director of football then. I think we need that. I think we need when the director of football come in, and that's what we need in the background. We need somebody, the sporting director that comes in. Hold on, Joanne, if you just hold on a wee second till I'll come into Al, he's in Canada, right, and I'll let him speak. I think that's what we missed out when Beale was getting to go and pick the players as well. We never had anybody in to oversee it.
Yeah, Joe's making some good points too. Yeah, so it's totally true, and I think that's why it's important we've got the sporting director in. I think he's going to do. These are football guys that understand, and I think that's why I'm such a supporter of Clement, because it's not really about. I know if for instance, say he doesn't have a great game on the weekend, people are going to go after him. But I think it's so wrong because he sees what's wrong with the club from top to bottom. If you think about it, we came out of hell. And Bob Jarrett mentioned the other night, we're still coming out of hell. And we're getting to the top of the hill. There's light on the horizon, and we're on our way. But during that like that journey, we're still on the journey. During that journey, we had to climb out and on our way to the top. And what's happened is the structure of the club's all wrong. Like the players are not looking after themselves professionally. Clement was actually angry about that. The fitness,
that's right.
Like I say, it goes back to the motivation. They're not motivated. You're getting paid that amount of money. You know you're going to be in the first team. Where's your motivation coming from? So there's a lot of structurally things wrong with the club, and we can't go after the board either because actually, if you think about it, look how much money we're spending. The board are doing everything they can, but we're just getting in the wrong guys. But I think he's looking at it, and I think he sees what's wrong, and we've been sticking band-aids on it and just powering forward and hoping things will change, and that's why.
That's right. The problems of the gaps, just plastering over the top of them.
Yeah, and then Beale went, and then if we get rid of him, we're just going to be back to square one. We really have to stick by him, and it might be a 2-year journey, but we can still. For instance, I'm not scared to play the game on Saturday. Actually, I'm not scared of Celtic at all. I'm more worried about what our players are going to do. That's the only thing that scares me. I'm not scared of the other team because I don't really think they're all great shakes, and the games have been close. But I just want to come and say that because it's really something I'm passionate about. But I'm in Canada. So I'm working. As Locke says, I get paid to call. But I'm going to have to go, guys. But it was nice to talk to you, and I'll be listening later.
All right.
We all thanks very much for taking the time to phone in. Always appreciate it, and you always make good points and talk a lot of sense.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Cheers, we out.
Bye.
Right, out.
Aye.
Right. Hold on,
Joe.
Aye, on you go, John. Right, on you go.
Because you might have folk waiting to come on. Arfield. That was wrong getting rid of that man as well, eh? I mean, that guy was head over heels better than some of them it went. And
I think you might be right. I think he could have done maybe another season in hindsight, but at the time, I'll be honest, I'll ask AK his opinion. I thought he could, seen the way the team went the following season, I think Arfield could have done another season, AK.
Well, in hindsight, you're probably right there, Southside. I mean, as I say, he was contributing with goals, and they were important goals. Up at Aberdeen, he came on as a sub and scored 2 late goals. But he knew what the club was about. And when you've got a bear out there on the park, trying that and getting the sleeves rolled up, that's what we're looking for. And we are missing that in the team. So,
that's right. And he was one guy that was for the club.
Aye, definitely, John. You're right there, pal. But you've made some good points there yourself. But listen, Southside, do you mind if I just give you a wee list of signings that Ross Wilson made? If he came in, I mean, Stuart Robertson meant to have headhunted him for Southampton. We get rid of Mark Allen. 3 years Gerrard built that squad to go in and win the league. But when Ross Wilson came in, 26 players he signed. I'll give them quickly if I can there. Hadji, Canberry, McLaughlin, Bassey, Balogun, Itten, Roof, Zungu, Wright, Simpson, Offaboa, Lundstrom, Sakala, Bakuna, Sands, Suter, Diallo, Ramsey, Cholak, Lawrence, Matondo, Tillman, Davies, Ridvan, Cantwell, Raskin. How many of them have the cost and wages and transfer fees? How many of them were a success? And that's where Clermont finds himself a problem.
That's exactly.
Hadji was put it alone. We lost Bassey. That was a big loss for us when we lost Bassey. That's my opinion, like. Roof, well, that guy's been injured more than he's actually had time on the park. I mean, Clements keeps trying to get him on for maybe even half an hour or so. But is it better to put him on at the start? Is it better to put him on at the end? For Saturday, I'm thinking about if Ruth's fit. Sakala, that fella used to. I mean, he ran his heart out like Atfield. He ran his heart out for the badge.
Aye, well, that's the thing. Some of the players aren't doing now, John. But hopefully,
that's right.
Hopefully they'll hang me. Hopefully it'll change Saturday.
And then we've got the academy players, which I believe there's a couple of them I think training with the big boys in there. We're first team. Clement and the coaches, I think, are trying to get them, not necessarily fit for Saturday, but for bringing on for next season.
Aye, well, hopefully they'll get us. Hopefully we've enough players fit and ready for Saturday, John, and then hang me. Do you listen to the show all the time?
I listen to the show. I've always been going to phone in, and I thought,
right.
It's mostly guys that phone in.
Aye, well, you've got Linda when she's on. You can phone in when Linda's on as well.
Aye, that's right. But as I say, I like to listen. I sit and listen and whatever. I take part in a lot of the groups and that, and put my points forward. And I'm quite lucky that the Bears, the male supporters, I get good thing back to them. But that's because you're not calling anybody down. You might not agree with something that's put on, but we're all entitled to an opinion. And sometimes we just all see things a bit different. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of was stopped me from phoning before. But, aye.
Well, you've done it now, so you're welcome to come on any time. You know that. You can just phone in. It's not that hard now. It's easy, isn't it?
It is. I'm sitting here on my own, me and the dog.
Right.
Seeing Saturday if Rangers score. Well, anytime Rangers score, I let a roar at me. The folk in my street must be thinking, because I used to stay in Clean, I used to stay in Clean, which was totally that's like Blue Nose country. And I came to St Ninians because of my mobility. I had to move house, And my peer dog, every time I scream when the Rangers score, or somebody does something stupid, like maybe Goldson scores an own goal or something like that, again, I'm up there, and the Doug just off the couch and runs away through the bedroom and hides at the bottom of the bed. I'm saying to myself, I mean, I look across out my front window here, and there's two guys across the road, and it's up already. They've got the green and white scarves out and all the different things, and the big hangings on the window. As soon as the weekend was past there, out it all come, and I went. So I draw my curtains, I keep my curtains shut at the front because I don't want to see it.
Quite right. That's the best way. You don't want to be moving house again, do you?
Get the
I'm waiting on a move. Aye. If I get back to Queen's, great.
Right, well, I'll thank you, Joan, for phoning in. I appreciate it. And don't be a stranger.
Thanks,
you know you're welcome to phone in any time. And I'm glad you listen to the show and you enjoy it.
I love listening to your show and whatever, eh? And I like listening to Talk Sport in the morning, eh?
Aye.
Usually with McCoy's son, because he's just hilarious. I've got him on my Instagram, eh?
This is the big Stevie serving the nation, as Stevie says.
That's right.
But thanks for phoning in anyway. I really appreciate it. All right, it was good to hear you. All right, all the best.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
All the best to you, Steve. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night, Han.
Good night.
I hope that Doug to bite them across the road.
I don't want her moving house again. No, she seems as if she was quite happy there when she moved, although she wants to get back to her old place, didn't she? So, no, it was good to hear her come on. Aye, good to hear her come on and give us a call. I'm trying to think where we were now. But anyway, Saturday, that's what it's all about. It's Saturday, it's the defining game of our season. And it's a chance to put another trophy in beside the first one that we lifted at the start of the season. So I'm sure the place will be bouncing Saturday, Stevie, once we get up to Hampden. I'm sure it will be. I'm really looking forward to it.
Aye. We'll all be dressed up, man. The war paint on, all dressed in blue, and away we go. But that was good. That last 84 in Dream Team Wednesday. She broke her truck in Dream Team Wednesday, eh? With AK on as a special offer. She'll always
That's how she probably phoned in, heard the special offer was on.
Go Bathroom sponsored.
I was laughing at her there saying Talk Sport. I said, that's a wee platform. This is a big platform you're on here. Ali McCoy. I'm always part of.
I tell you what, I wish we'd Ali McCoyston Saturday, that's for sure.
You're not joking. But aye, listen, we Coisty, I was in Baghdad when he was his dad's bag. No, so when it comes to batter, he's the big boy. This is the big station serving the nation. Talk Sport.
See, the thing is, right, just when you're talking about Super Ali, I mean, he was at St Johnstone, because down to Sunderland, didn't do anything really there. John Gregg signed him, brought him up. And I remember a game against Dundee, I'm sure it was at Ibrox, when the whole Copeland Road storm and probably bits of the enclosure and everywhere else were telling them where to go. But he was a goal scorer, and he was fearless. And he scored plenty of goals. I think he scored 581 or something. I can't remember. I think it's something. I think it's 5-8. I think he scored 581 goals or something. But it shows he wasn't like, you wouldn't have thought he was one of these star players, do you know what I mean? You just sign him. Goal scorers will score. That's how I believe we need to sign a goal scorer, Stevie, at the start of the season. I think that's somebody's text 351. So, but we need a goal scorer, a boydie, somebody just naturally scores goals. I think Dessers will probably be there if nobody buys him, but he'll not be first choice, mate. We know that.
Shanklin.
Listen, Super Ali was as good as a goalie I start against them. I think it's 27 goals or something he scored against them, is it not? Against Celtic, 27-0 for him goals, something like that.
It could be. It feels as if it could be more, but doesn't it? Because it was regular.
Aye. I remember the league, my first ever League Cup final. He got the 3 goals. So he did. The League Cup. He scored a hat against Stirling. He's penalty.
Do you remember looking across the end at the Northern Closure? Empty. The greatest fans in the world there.
Aye. Their end was empty, and of course the Bears end were on each other's heads. I remember McCoy's penalty. Bonner saved it, and their end jumped. And then me, Super Sally, just stuck it away lovely. Oh, the Bears went bananas, man. That was only a wee thing. I was getting tossed about all over the place. What year was that League Cup final? We beat them 3-2.
84, aye, probably. But I'm trying with the pinch. Do you know when we had the pinch stripe strip, wasn't it?
McCoy's the 2 penalties that day.
Sandy Clark was playing, wasn't he?
Sandy Clark knocked it on for the second goal. Sandy Clark, he'd her out of McCoy slid in, banged it away. Absolutely brilliant.
You could have got a contrast to any 2 types of strikers, could you? Sandy Clark and Ali McCoy.
Right.
You know.
What a day that was, man.
Do you want to have a stab at the team? Do you want to stab at what you think Clement will pick, or would you want to pick your own team?
No, let you kid there. I'm hopeless at all that junk.
Well, we'll agree. I'll tell you what. We'll agree that Butland's playing, right?
Right, Butland, Tav.
We're going for Tav. AK, you going for Tav?
Aye.
Left back, Redvan.
Balogun.
Aye, Redvan starts for me too, aye.
Centre back on the right. Is it Balogun or is it Suit? Or if we take it as Balogun Suter?
Aye.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think Clement will go Davies and Suter. Depending on the back injury.
I know that. I did say who was playing on the right-hand side, but I was going to come to the left-hand side, but you decided to jump the gun. Stevie, you know what I mean? Stevie, behavioural problems.
This is the problem we've got with AK, you know?
Aye.
Anyway. No, that's right. I'm going to say it by Balogun and Suter. There we go with. I think he'll want to demand. He needs demanded people in the air and the both boxes. So I think we get corners. That he'll send Balogun and Suter up there. So and vice versa. So that would be my 2. That would probably be my 2. Right, midfield. Let's do it.
If they 2 are fit, they'd be my 2 too, Stevie.
All right, you care actually.
So has he played a 2? Has he played the 2 then? We're going for that he's going to play a 2. See, this is well, assume he plays the 2 right because that's the way he plays a 4-2-3-1, right? So as well just picking the 2.
Right, okay.
So who are you going for, AK?
Not Lundstrom. Don't want to see him in a jersey. Raskin and Diamondi for me.
Stevie?
Raskin, Diamondi, Cantwell up in my 3 in the midfield.
Right, so you including Cantwell as your 10 then?
Aye. Yeah.
Aye. Are you agreeing with that, AK?
Aye.
And then who's playing wide left?
I'm going to go with Seaman.
I hope Seaman's fit to play there, aye. That would do me.
So Seaman plays left. Dessers is playing through the middle, I take it.
Yep, and McCausland on the right.
So we're not playing Sterling then?
No. That's what you're asking me. What team he's going to put out? No, my team.
Aye. I think we start with Sterling and bring McCausland on. That's the problem. As I said earlier, if we're playing Cantwell and McCausland and Seaman, then you've got to leave Sterling out of the team. And he's made the point earlier, you've got to have Sterling in that midfield. So I think Sterling is vital to keep us in again.
But the argument is, you just said it yourself, you're leaving Sterling out, right? Aye, well, he has, because is he influential when he plays wide right? Is he?
Nah, not really.
You know? So the only thing we all agree on, where he'll be influential, is if he played him in the middle of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But is he going to be influential in a 2? Or would he be more influential in a 3?
3 for me. Ideally, you'd be looking to probably play him in the middle then, wouldn't you? With Diamondi. But probably a 3, as you say, aye.
See, that's the thing. So he'll have to work that out. I don't think he'll change his system. I think he'll play a 4-2-3-1. I'd love to think, I agree with Stevie, I'd love to think Seema would start. And I think I would probably play him up against Alistair Johnston if he's fit, or he'll be playing up against Ralston. So I would go with Seema if he's fit enough to play. I think if I could get 60 minutes out of him, it'd be better than coming on later on, whether we're winning or no. I'd rather he started, and we can get after the front foot and try and start with the strongest team that we could. So for me, I would rather play Seema. But on the right, I agree. Listen, you could probably play him on the right. I don't think he's as effective at times, but you could probably play him on the right if you were making a case to play Silva on the left, Stevie, with Dessers through the middle, Cantwell in behind.
But listen, you know, and I know that's the team I think he's going to go with. Well, I hope he goes with. No, I would want Sterling in the middle of the park. That would be my big thing, you know. But well, it is what it is. No matter who he plays, they've got to do the business. They've got to get out there and do the business. Do the dirty side of the game. Track back, tackle, hassle, press, shut down. Get right on about it. And see, the other worry we've got is the referee. We want the referees to ref the game, no influence the game. We don't want any big decisions, because every single game we play them now, big decisions are gone against us. Whether it's penalties, sending offs, offside goals, it's all went their way. Let's hope we get a fair crack at the whip and all.
Aye, is it Walsh in it, refereeing? So we'll find out. Listen, if we just play the football and he books players at the right time, then we'll not have an issue. Anyway, I think we've came to that time of the evening, so I'll go to AK for his last words.
An enjoyable show tonight. Thanks for looking after me, guys. Stevie, Southside, the techie team. Thanks to our callers coming in there, and I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We look forward to Saturday. Come on, the Rangers.
Big man.
Aye, good. Excellent. I've enjoyed being on with AK tonight. Man talks a lot of sense. I don't know what's happened tonight. He must have his dad's thinking cap on. But welcome to Dream Team Wednesday, AK. Anytime, my man. You've been good tonight, and I've been really enjoyed it being on with Southside, my wingman. You know, he is my wingman, Ali. It doesn't matter how many times or how much homework you do. Phone texting me saying Southside saying this about you and that about you. Me and Southside, we are just look elsewhere. That's that. So anyway, listen, brilliant. Great to get a woman on the night, John. I hope our Doug is early on Saturday after we won the cup and bites the 2 guys. And the teddy bear is it Rab for Canada? Who was it?
We all.
You were close.
He's done his homework and all, but he figures he was brilliant tonight when he came on to 2 good calls. Right, boys, sayonara.
Aye, first of all, can I thank Joan for phoning in, and obviously we Alfie Canada. It's been a pleasure tonight to do the show we used to, as always, when I've been on me's. So I'd like to thank you for carrying us tonight. I'd like to thank Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals and keeping the dark side after the show tonight. That was brilliant. We'll be back on tomorrow. I'd like to thank all the listeners who have listened in as well. We'll be back on tomorrow between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. And always remember, fear no foe, one team, one crown. Take it away, Foxy boy.